We're taking a pause for a spot of tea.
Yes, I knew you would do that.
You knew it?
Yes.
Celebrity historian Rafi and Dodian is here to share more on International Tea Day.
That's
Welcome
right.
back, Rafi.
Yeah.
Good to see you.
Good to see you guys.
Yeah, look, you brought fancy tea set here. I love it. Let's start off with this question, maybe, because there's tea in there.
Might as well enjoy some.
Might as well. I love it.
When did the English start to drink tea?
So the English are recent to drinking tea, historically speaking. That is, tea is several thousand years old. Cheers.
Yes.
International
International
Tea Day.
Tea Day. Cheers, cheers, cheers. Yeah.
And the English don't start drinking tea until the 17th century. So
Okay.
when you compare it over thousands of years, right, the last few hundred years is actually very recent.
Okay.
And the way that happens is because they have the company that many people have heard of, the East India Company,
Yes.
that starts in the 17th century, and they're looking for spices and silks in the Far East. Well, one of the things they come across is tea in China, which was used medicinally there and really for most of its history. But the English bring it back and they treat it like a luxury item because for them it's uncommon. So starting in the 17th century, the English start to use it quite a bit because they stumble into it with the silk trade that they're trying to get into.
Yes.
And of course they have a colonial empire which helps them deliver that at that point too.
Oh, I love that. Now, we're drinking Earl Grey tea. That seems like it's very British. Am I supposed to drink this like with my pinky out?
Oh, you're very fancy.
Ideally
know.
a dab of milk, right?
Yes.
Is what the English would do on the Earl Grey.
That's right. Why did we start to put sugar in? Because this is just tea, straight tea, right? Why did we start to put sugar in this?
Because the English had that empire, that colonial empire, including the sugar colonies in the Caribbean.
Okay.
And when they had the sugar colonies in the Caribbean, they were using these goods. Sugar is a very luxurious good at the time. Very expensive, was locked up.
Okay.
And a lot of wars were fought over control over sugar colonies.
Wow.
Most slaves that were imported across the Atlantic were sent to sugar colonies in the Caribbean. I mean, that's where the money is at. So think about it from the context of tea. Remember I said tea was a luxurious item?
Yeah.
Well, what are you going to put into it? Other luxury goods. You're not going to reduce it by putting junk in there.
Yeah.
So they put the sugar in there, and that is partly how you have this for the elite at the time.
So this
I
is
love this.
This is a cup of luxury.
That's a cup of luxury.
Yeah.
That's right.
I like how you said because
Yeah.
we're fancy.
We are fancy. I'm
Jason.
gonna get my pinky out.
So here's a question because I do drink tea, but I also love my coffee. So let's talk about how did coffee become, dare I say, more popular here in the
some
U.S. than
countries,
tea?
yeah.
Absolutely. So tea is the most popular beverage in the world, but in the U.S., coffee is more popular.
Okay.
If you're drinking a coffee, you're a great American patriot for doing so, because it is very much tied to patriotism. Remember the Boston Tea Party?
Oh yeah.
Throwing tea into the sea?
I guess so.
But
yeah.
in addition to that, you have coffee houses in the 18th century that are proliferating in Paris, in London, and of course in the colonial America and then later the early United States. In the era of the Enlightenment, coffee houses were seen as more egalitarian than, say, a pub and some of these other places.
Right.
Because you go in there and share ideas across social classes. Well, that's what happened here in the colonies as well. And when that happened, a lot of the conversations that were taking place were rebellious, if you will.
Okay.
So it was patriotic, not just because of moving away from tea,
Sure.
but because the arenas in which these conversations that later led to the revolution took place.
Yeah.
Got you. Here's a question. How do you like your tea? What do you put in it when you drink it?
You know what? I really like it just straight like this. If I'm
Yes.
gonna put something in it, I might add a little milk to it. But
Okay.
you know, I just like it like this. It's
How about
good.
you, Rafi?
Good to me.
I like it straight, although occasionally I will add milk in the same way.
Yeah.
Have not tried milk. I do honey, lemon, turmeric, ginger.
That's a great
So nice little
combination. That sounds
cocktail.
That
really
is a
good.
Right there.
You just took cup of luxury to the next level.
That's right. Let us know how you like your tea on our social media. We're going to keep sipping.
Yes.
We'll be right back with more Good Day NWA.